Hey lady, I'm Jamie and you are listening to the podcast for the modern businesswoman, the Lady CEO. Welcome to my world, where business gets to be fun, aligned, and feel damn good. If you're ready to shatter your glass ceiling, embody your inner CEO, up-level your empire, and to make more money online, then I want you to know you are totally in the right place. Between inspiring guest interviews and saucy solo sessions, I'll be covering the skills, systems, and strategies you need to absolutely kill it in your business. All spiced up with a dash of woo, of course. Now, are you ready for today's episode? Let's get to it. Is coaching the new network marketing? I feel like this episode needs to come with a trigger warning. If I am honest, I have just recorded and deleted this episode already. This is take 2, because what I realized was that I went off on too much of a tangent in a way that wasn't the way that I want to show up for people. It is so easy to get caught up in the messages online and to go off ranting and raving about them, but that really isn't providing value. Like from me, it's not providing value to you listening. It's not providing value to anyone for us to just always be in this reactive state, right? Where we see something, we get triggered by it, and then we go off on a tangent about it. Okay, so this is take 2, and I'm not even scared to say it. Like, I have a good friend who I know will listen to this episode at some stage, and I voice note her a lot, and quite often it takes me like 4 goes of voice note to actually get my point across. And I'll say to her like, oh, Soz, this is like take 4 because I just kept going off on tangents. And it's not a perfectionism thing. Like most people are probably sitting there being like, oh, you're such a perfectionist. Like, you know, done is better than perfect and all the rest of it. But it's really not about that. It's just for me about being able to, well, number one, like let you know that I totally appreciate your time listening to me and, you know, investing in this episode. And also I just want to provide value. And so if what I'm saying has gone off on so much of a tangent that it's no longer valuable, I'm just not putting that out there to the world, right? So this episode is all about a phrase that I've seen thrown around a lot, and it is that coaching and the online service industry is the new network marketing. Now, sit down, everyone, before you come at me over it. It's literally just a phrase that I keep seeing being thrown around. This is not an attack on either industries. Obviously, I am a coach, so I've totally got your back. But I also have dabbled in network marketing on more than one occasion in the past, and I'm not here to rag and bag on that either. I think where this has come from is that there is an incredible lack of integrity at the moment in the online service-based industry. There are people who are, I guess it's kind of like the actions of the few that ruin like the reputation of the many. And it comes from so many things, right? It comes from false income claims, from a side of like not only what you're claiming your business is earning, but also what you're claiming you can take someone to, what you're claiming you can help someone earn. And it comes from the just icky sales strategies and the way that you're showing up and this whole put down call out culture that we have at the moment, or that I'm seeing at the moment. So what really, I guess, inspired or like triggered, you could say, this episode was a reel that I watched yesterday on Instagram. And she was actually calling out business coaches, which was interesting because obviously this is like her specific experience with business coaches. It's been my experience with not just business coaches. It's with a lot of coaches as well as network marketers. And it's those icky sales tactics. It's those people that are in your inbox and it seems like they are wanting to build a relationship with you, or they're at least making an attempt to have a conversation with you. But it is so surface level that it actually stinks of desperation. And it's the straight out cold pictures in your DMs. It's the straight out, asking someone to marry them without dating first, basically. Like, sales is a relationship. You don't get to just pop up in someone's inbox and expect them to buy from you, not knowing anything about you. Now, I am so happy to be proven wrong in this case. And if this approach has worked for you, reach out to me. I want to talk. I want to talk and I want to know all about it, because all I'm seeing all over the internet at the moment, in Facebook groups, on Instagram Reels now, like everywhere, I'm seeing people put up a hard no to these tactics. People are saying no. People are stopping adding people. They're declining friend requests. They're unfollowing people because of these tactics. We live in a world now where so much has had to go online. There are so many people with online businesses. There are so many different approaches and strategies to it. And I 100% believe that for the right people, there is, no wrong strategy. But I think you really need to be careful how you're approaching people in general. If you're out there looking at everyone as a potential client, people are going to smell a rat from a mile away. Like, in every business course that I've done, there has been some level of getting to know your ideal target client, right? You create this, there's a full activity, there's always the worksheet and the diving deep into everything that you need to know about your perfect dream client. But how do you know that someone is your perfect dream client? By just scrolling through and adding them on Facebook, or looking at their Instagram feed and going, oh, this is my girl. How do you know if you don't have an actual conversation with them and you don't really get to know them? I am a massive fan of attraction marketing. That is how I do business. You will not catch me anymore. I've done this tactic. This is how I know it doesn't work, right? When I was in network marketing, I was this person. I was this person who was literally scrolling through Instagram going, oh, I love her feed. I'm going to reach out to her. And I was the person who was saying like, hey lady, love your feed. How long have you been focusing on Instagram? How long have you had your business on Instagram? All of that. And I was there waiting for you to turn around and to give me a reason that I could divert the conversation to my business, right? I'm not talking about this from a state of this is what I've seen. This is from a state of this is my experience. And if I think back to that time, I actually hated it. This is like another phase of doing business in a way that just didn't feel good for me. I hated having conversations with random people on the internet, looking for a reason to offer them either my product or my business opportunity. I hated it. And yet I did it because that's the way to be successful, right? That's what the people in the network marketing company I was in were telling me you need to do to be successful. Like, there were whole trainings around this. And, we like to refer to it as gathering besties, making friends online. But to me, it's not a genuine relationship if the only reason you're reaching out to someone is so that potentially one day down the track, hopefully not too long away, you could offer your business or your product to them. How about we just go back to basics? Can we not just have genuine conversations and genuine relationships with people? Like, my inbox is so open for people who want to get to know me, or for people who want me to get to know them for whatever reason. Like, I will talk to you all day. The minute, though, that I can tell that you are guiding the conversation in a way that you are looking for a reason to sell me, I'm out. Like, I will just stop replying to you. And I know that I've spoken about this in a previous podcast because I just don't like it. And from what I've seen all over Facebook at the moment, all over Instagram, all over Reels, everywhere, people don't like it. Nobody wants to feel like just another number. People want to feel important. They want to feel seen, and they want to feel heard now more than ever. Now more than ever. I'm in Australia and we have major cities in lockdown still that have been in lockdown for longer than they have not been in lockdown over the last 18 months. People are craving and they're desperate for connection. They want real relationships. They want people who actually fucking care about them. And they're not out there looking for the hard sale. If they want your service, show up. Show them your service. Show them your service by walking your walk, by walking your talk, by putting out the best content that you can put out, by inspiring them, by motivating and empowering them and educating them through everything that you put out. Make it the best quality and make them be able to see themselves in your story. That is the key. That is the key. People buy people. They buy relationships. Sales is a relationship. Now, I really, really love this analogy, so I have to share it. But when you think about, getting married, right, or dating someone, you don't meet someone and then get married the next day. Like, you're not swiping whatever it is on Tinder. Probably the worst dating app I could have picked. But anyway, you're not swiping right, I think it is, and then getting married to that person the next day, are you? You are swiping, yes, I'm interested. And then you're having a conversation, and that conversation leads to, maybe deeper conversation. Maybe you organize to meet up with that person and you go on a date, and then you go on a couple more dates. And, there's a natural progression of things. And we have this thing in business that things have to happen really, really fast. For some reason, we're basically taught that if you don't have success, and I'm doing air quotations because success, what even is success? But anyway, if we don't have success, if we don't reach those goals, those milestones, all of that really quickly, we're never going to reach them. I call BS. I call absolute BS. This is another thing that's come from network marketing where they say you make it basically work faster and you'll make it further sort of thing. Anyway, I've completely butchered that phrase, but you get what I mean. It's not a sprint. Business isn't a sprint. It is a freaking marathon. And there is so much testing and tweaking and creating things and launching them and then testing and tweaking, and you just do that over and over and over and over until you find what works for you. And you know what? Maybe there's a lot of people listening to this who have done these really shitty, if you ask me, sales tactics like me, who just didn't know any better and they're still in that testing and tweaking phase. This is why I will never be nasty to anyone who's in my inbox doing this. I'll just ignore you. I'm not here to call people out and to make people feel like shit. What I am here to do though is educate. And if you're out there still using these techniques, I want you to really think. And I want you to ask yourself, how does this make me feel? How does this really make me feel? Is this really how I see myself building this 6-figure business, this 7-figure business, whatever it is that you're trying to build? Is this the technique that you think is going to take you there? Do you think when you are launching program after program, as well as one-on-one VIP places and masterminds and all of that, that you're just going to be finding all these people by DMing them? Because I think not. I don't think that anyone has the time in the day to be just nonstop cold DMing people, building fake relationships, looking for a reason to sell them. I really truly believe in attraction marketing. I believe that when you show up and shine in your light and show people, they will come. yes, there has to be strategy behind it. I'm not saying that you can just be in this energy of I'm attracting people to me and, sit around or woo woo. You still have to have strategy behind it. There has to be purpose behind what you're posting. There's still reason and intent. There is still intent there. But the intent is not to look for a reason to sell the person. If you speak in the right way, if you show up in a way that people can see themselves in your story, they will effortlessly hand over their money. I know because I am a consumer and I talk to other consumers, right? And so I'm working with a new coach at the moment. I know I've said this 1,000 times. I'm working with a new coach at the moment in a group coaching program, surrounded by some absolutely freaking amazing, incredible women in business. And we've all handed over our credit cards for the same reason, because we love how this coach does business. Because what this coach does when she shows up anywhere on any platform, in any way, shape, or form, she is herself. And she just exudes this energy that makes you just take notice. You take notice and you go, I want to do business like that. I want my business to feel like that. I want my business to make people feel like that. That is why people hand over their credit cards. People hand over their credit cards because you made them feel a certain way. And that feeling is not ick in my inbox. The other thing I really want people to reconsider in general is the income claims. Network marketing there's massive issues around this, right? Where it's actually not allowed. I don't know any network marketing companies that actually allow you to make any sort of income claim, but there are a lot of people in network marketing who are showing up and making claims about what the business could do for the consumer, the client, the new teamie, whatever it is. And I'm really seeing this come up a lot more from other coaches, from people's programs, all of that. And I think we really need to reset the integrity in this industry. It is time for the false income claims to just stop. Because at the end of the day, while it is incredibly inspiring to hear what's possible for someone and to know the opportunity that is present in this industry, in the online service industry in general, to make false income claims and then be called out for it, it's not what you want for your brand. You don't want people to see that. And to be honest, it's better to just show up and be real. And at the end of the day, I've never once, and again, talking to other people like me, we're not handing over our credit cards because someone's making $1 million in their business. That's just not on the list. Like, yeah, I want to see that someone has a successful business, but at the end of the day, I'm more interested in what they can do for me, not what they're doing for themselves. I want to know how that person can help me, how that person can push me for me to perform at my best, for me to transform my business, for me to bring my vision to life, not because they're making X amount of money in their business. It's just not important to me. And I think that we need to start shifting, and this goes for consumers as well. Next time you buy from someone, stop looking at or looking for how much the person is making. If you're investing in someone because they're making X amount of money, you're already investing for the wrong reason. You need to be investing from, and I'm going to do an entire episode just on this topic alone because I could talk for so long about the reasons that you should invest. But you really need to be investing not from that place of like lack and scarcity, but from a place of I'm ready to grow. I'm ready to show up. I'm ready to fully step into and embody everything that I can be and show up as that person now, because that's where the transformation happens. That is where you bring your vision to life. That is where you change, turn around, whatever, your business. It doesn't matter if the coach is making $100 a month, $100,000 a month. I guarantee you, it is in the work that they're doing, not how many people have discovered them. You know, who's to say that that beginner coach that you have found on your Instagram that has super affordable pricing, who's to say that she can't give you as great, if not better, a transformation as the coach who's charging 5 figures to work with them for just 1 month? The money has nothing to do with it. And I know that there are going to be so many people who disagree with me on this, because I do see quite a lot in the coaching industry specifically, people really pushing for price increases. And it's not about like making it not affordable for everyone, but it is a belief that having higher ticket items and a higher price point attracts better clients. But I just don't agree with that. I think that, you know, everyone can benefit from this work, and it's just in you really honing in on who you are talking to, who you are saying yes to, who you're bringing into your containers, to your programs, to your coaching. It has nothing to do with the price point to a certain degree. And I call BS on that. Again, I'm so happy to be called out for this. I'm so happy to continue this conversation further in my DMs for anyone who does disagree with me. I know I have seen a lot, you know, people saying like, I had a $500 per month client who took just as much energy as a client who paid me $5,000 per month. And you know what? That might be true. But is it the price point that the issue is with? Or is it the fact that, you know, you came from a scarcity mindset and you said yes to someone who just wasn't the right fit for you? Because the truth is that you get to choose who you work with. If you've got a $500 per month client who is draining you and taking you for granted, get rid of them. Get rid of them. Don't use that as the precedent for how you're going to set your prices or for what sort of income claims you're going to make. I know that this has been a super ranty episode, but I really do hope that you have found some sort of value in this. And, you know, next time you either see someone in your DMs using these icky sales tactics, hopefully it will give you a better understanding of where they're coming from. Like I said, I've been there, I've done that, I've done this before. I was that ick person. I realized though, I knew at the time that it didn't feel right and it wasn't the way I wanted to do business, but I didn't know any better. And that is why I really want to speak out about these things, because I want all of you out there who are in that place that I was in, where you were doing things that just weren't in alignment with you because you didn't know any better. I want you to know better. I want you to know that your business gets to be however you want it to be, and you get to do sales however you want to do sales. If you want to do sales being that ick person in someone's inbox, then by all means go right ahead. But I do just want you to accept that there are other ways of doing things. There are better ways of doing things. And you know, if you build a business out of integrity, it will always be out of integrity. And I don't know about you, but I don't believe that a business built that is not in 100% alignment with you is never going to be as successful as you could if you just stepped into your power, owned your shit, and showed up in your light every single day. Thank you so much for sticking around to the end. I absolutely love recording these episodes for you. Don't forget to come and say hi and continue this conversation over on my Instagram at Jamie Lee White. And of course, share this podcast with someone you know needs to hear it. I cannot wait to share more gold with you next week.